I know what your complaints about the new Indian Scout Bobber are going to be, and we can talk about them in a bit. But for now, could you please just shut up and admit that this is an actual thing of beauty? This is a work of art that excels beyond previous efforts, art you want to be seen on. And most importantly, art that is joyously fun to ride. Unveiled amid the hullabaloo of the Minneapolis 10th Games. The target audience for this particular work of art is pretty easy to guess. With the Scout Bobber, Indian Motorcycle is looking to extend beyond the heritage foundations upon which it has rebuilt itself over the past few years. The old guys who remember the Indian Motorcycle of the past can see the brand is back. Now it's time to start chasing after their children and grandchildren. To do this, Indian has followed in the footsteps of Harley-Davidson and Triumph in delivering a bobber version of one of its stalwart models. Bobber, of course, is a word for which the definition appears to have changed in recent years. These days it's a word that describes a certain look and spirit. So, in the same sense that the Triumph Bonneville T120 Black is so called because it's a Bonneville T120 that's black, the Scout Bobber gets its name from the fact it's a Scout that is a bobber. Bobberfied? Bobberlicious. Well, you get the point. Fenders have been dutifully bobbed and most of the shiny bits have been blacked out. Giving a bike the blacked out treatment is cliché perhaps, but damn it, it works here. This is especially true when combined with the bronze smoke color scheme, my favorite of the 5 colorways available. Chrome accents on the engine and a block letter logo on the tank also draw the eye. A new headlight nacelle addresses what was previously my biggest aesthetic complaint about the Scout puny-looking front, and creates a nice visual link to larger bikes like the Chief Classic Vintage, Dark Horse and Springfield. So-called tracker bars combine with closer, by 1.5 inches, still not quite mid-set, pegs and a rear suspension that's been lowered 1 inch to create a more assertive riding position. My deep concern upon first observing these changes was that they would create clamshell ergonomics similar to those found on the Harley-Davidson 48, a sexy machine but not one I enjoy sitting on. I am happy to report, though, that Indian's entry in the bobber race does not cause immediate discomfort. The seat is mighty low, although, according to Indian, it's oh so slightly higher than on the Scout. For a 6'1" guy like me, throwing a leg over is more an issue of taking a big step. I found it to be the source of quirky fun. And having all the weight way down low meant it was easy to push the bike around in parking lots and such. Whether I'd want to ride that low all the time, though, I'm not sure. Fire up the Scout Bobber's 1130cc liquid-cooled V-twin and the blacked-out stock exhaust does a decent job of communicating the engine's potential for badassery. It won't upset the neighbors but offers enough growl to trigger the kid part of your brain that makes you want to shout, yeah, like James Hetfield. The engine is the same 100 HP beauty found in the Scout, one of my favorite power plants across the board. It's far and away the best cruiser engine I've ever experienced. Ooh. Controversial, but I'd be equally delighted to see it housed in anything from a naked to an adventure bike. I love its perfect mix of the visceral and the refined. There is growl and rumble to emotionally remind you that you are sitting astride a big metal box of explosions, but there is also an all-day smoothness and usability.